It's the Cyclone Fanatic postgame report presented by Centurion Stone, as well as Whiskey River and Fareway. I'm Jared Stansbury, joined as always by Rob Gray. Again, want to give a shout out to our sponsors, Centurion Stone. You saw the ad there before we got started. And then Whiskey River, no matter where you are in central Iowa, you can support a longtime friend of Cyclone Fanatic, and that's Whiskey River. Check out their flagship location in downtown Ames. Whiskey River Ankeny is located in Prairie Trail, and then their newest location, Whiskey River in downtown Des Moines on Ingersoll, for fantastic liquor and beer selection. It's always Whiskey River, a proud partner of Cyclone Fanatic. And then Fareway, just a heads up, you can check out your local Fareway, and then as well as check out fareway.com for store locators and healthy and easy recipes. And then check out the new Fareway Meat Market in Ames. Rob Gray, Iowa State lost 41-38 to Iowa State today. You and I are both fired up. We were fired up before we even got going on this thing. Anybody who looks at my Twitter knows that I'm fired up because I've been swearing up a storm apparently and offending people that are Charmin soft on Twitter. And it's man, gosh dang it, dude. Like that is I don't know where to start. There's a lot that goes into this one because I think that this is as frustrating of a loss as I've seen from Iowa State in quite some time.
It is indeed an R-rated loss, so you should be forgiven for any F-bombs that you drop because it's an F-bomb worthy game. I mean, for them to come out and look like they had no idea what Texas Tech was going to do against them throughout the first half and even early in the second half, that's not Iowa State football. That's not this staff. It's not the way they've been. And for that to happen 2 times in the last 3 games, West Virginia just schooled them, a couple games back. And we've seen what they've done since. Nothing. So,
right. Jack swear word.
Kansas State dominated them today. Dominated them. So it's really tough to watch that for a team with this talent and with this much want to and everything. I don't know what to say about it other than, Coach Campbell said it. I referenced it in the recently published Unhappy Road Recap that my lead was sometimes you dig yourself too big of a hole, you can't get out. And when Iowa State loses, that's what they do. It's very rarely what's done to them, right? It's what they do to themselves. And guys in the wrong spots, multiple missed tackles, the types of things that you hate to see for these guys. We've covered these guys for 4 or 5, sometimes 6 years. These guys want it. They've given Iowa State historic success. They've given everything to this program, and to see it crumble like this is really tough, especially when so much of it is self-inflicted. And, that's a life lesson. Nothing will take away anything from what Iowa State's success has been in the last almost 5 full seasons, but it's just tough and frustrating to see it happen this way, see it go down to where you've got no chance to even play a role in the Big 12 championship because of so many self-inflicted things. And you give credit to Texas Tech. They came out with a good game plan. They executed it. They made Donovan Smith, just like Diggy a couple weeks ago, look like the best quarterback in college football. But they did what they needed to do. And the Cyclones, again, hurt themselves so much that they couldn't come out of it. And that's the frustrating thing. You hurt for those guys because, they're giving everything they have.
Right. Here's the thing that I'm going to say at the end of the day that I'm going to remember from the 2021 Iowa State football season. Iowa State football, figuratively, remained undefeated because the only team that can beat Iowa State that I've seen in the Big 12 conference this year is Iowa State.
Yep.
Like that's what it comes down to. The only team that can beat them is themselves.
It's not even close.
Yeah. No, it's not close. It's not close. Anybody who watched that Baylor Oklahoma game today, it's not close.
Yeah.
There's no team that should be able to play in this league right now today that should be able to beat them. That's my opinion. There might be people out there that disagree with me, but I feel pretty confident in saying that.
Yeah,
you don't deserve to win a game when you give up 500 yards of total offense like Iowa State today.
You give up multiple 8 of 14 on third downs. Tech kind of bails you out by not. Tech felt so confident that they would go for it on fourth down. They would go for kill shots on fourth down in third quarter twice, and they failed. And you still couldn't come back and beat them. You're a significantly better team than Texas Tech. Iowa State is a significantly better team. They should be a more mentally tough team. And unfortunately, they were down the stretch, no question. And this is not a criticism. I mean, these guys play hard. But 62-yard field goal from a guy who'd never attempted a field goal of more than 47 yards. That's what happens to you when you play a bad first 2.5 quarters and you fight back. There's karma in this game. And they had 1 minute and no timeouts, and they still got into enough range that he could get the 62-yard field goal. You can't let that happen. It's just it's frustrating because you feel for these guys and you feel for the team, and of course you feel for all the fans because this was supposed to be the year, right? And it's not, but it still can be a darn good year. And based on the way these guys attack things, generally speaking, I'd expect that to be the case. But it just too many things. You tempt fate. You tempt fate. You tempt fate. Fate's going to bite you. Period.
This is what happens when you give up. Like I said, 500 yards of total offense, 325 yards of total offense in the first half. Give up 30 points in the first half of the football game. Why do we say, people might wonder, why do they say they beat themselves? They gave up 325 yards of total offense in the first half of the game, gave up 500 yards total offense in the entire game, and they lost on a 62-yard field goal.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that that's a school record at Texas Tech.
Oh, it's got to be. I mean, it's got to be top 5 college football, the top 3. I mean, for 30, 40 years, this club-footed dude from the New Orleans Saints in the NFL, Dempsey, had the record for 63 yards. And then 3, 4, 5 guys have beaten it since then, often against the Vikings. So it's Coach Campbell said this week, you get what you deserve. And the Cyclones deserve this today. I don't like to say that. I don't. Obviously, I take a great deal of displeasure in it. But you can't play like they did in the first half. Missed tackle after missed tackle. Getting beat on the outside every single time by this redshirt freshman quarterback who'd never done anything.
Went before, 6 of 8 on third downs. Texas Tech went 6 of 8 on third downs in the first half of the game.
Yeah, and it improved to 8 of 14 for the game. It just, you got no one to blame but yourself. And, that doesn't mean you don't credit the other team. But because they did. I mean, 60-yard from a guy who's never attempted one for 50 plus, that's incredible. I don't care if he had a 30-yard wind. It didn't look like there was much wind going on. It's just a tough thing. Like I said, it sounds like maybe we're maybe me. It's being brutal toward the team but we're not. I mean, we love these guys. I mean, we've covered them long enough that we know how much they put into this. And to see them lose largely because of their own doing or undoing is really tough. And you know how they're feeling about it, which is a lot worse than us or any fan that's out there. But Texas Tech getting 31 points in the first half is largely on Iowa State's own mistakes.
Right. Every single person on our staff picked Iowa State to cover in this game. Not only win, but cover.
Yep.
And I can promise you that other than the people that are on the Iowa State football staff, there are not many people who probably think about Iowa State football more than every single person that is on the Cyclone Fanatic staff as far as being a football analyst. We would not make those picks if we were not confident in them.
Yep.
And if we weren't confident, we'd write that. But I'm saying, like, especially if we're going to pick for them to cover a 10-point spread, and I picked them to win by 25. Rob, I can't remember what you picked. I know
21.
I would say it was like everybody was right there in that general area.
Jay was only 7, wasn't he?
No, I think it was more than that. It was maybe 15, something right, somewhere right around there. But at the end of the day, man, like if the Iowa State team that we watched last week at Jack Trice Stadium play against Texas, if that team showed up in the first half of this game, it's not a contest. It's not. Like, I don't know that.
Oh, it's not even close. I mean, remember, Texas was named their score on Texas Tech, about a month ago? 70-35, but they were up by like 45. It was not even, it was a laugher. Texas Tech did not look like they belonged on the same field. But hey, guess what? Other teams have some mental resolve too. And this team, they fired Wells, whether it was deserved or not, whatever. But they got a new guy who will be coming in. They got this Sonny, whatever the hell his name is.
Sonny,
he got him to believe.
Texas Tech,
and sorry I'm not trying to put him down that way, but and the gulf of talent is not what has made Iowa State a great program under Matt Campbell. The gulf of execution, the gulf of attitude and effort, the gulf of smart game planning, all that stuff is what has made Iowa State generally a top 3, top 4 team in the Big 12 every single year for the past 5 years. And unfortunately, hey, other teams can try to do that too. And Texas Tech did it today. I mean, you got to give credit to them. 62-yard field goal. You got to give credit to that quarterback. He's a dual threat. He's a problem. But, to me, 3rd and 8 at one point in the second, Texas Tech just runs the ball. They're just like, we're just going to hand it off. They get 10 yards. To me, that's the game. They were the tougher team today. And it's tough to say that. It's hard to say it. But they just were. And they deserve to win the game. And Iowa State's there's no question in my mind that Iowa State could finish out 8-4 and go and play in a solid bowl game and trounce whoever they play. But they've got to not have long stretches of being lost. And that's what we've seen 2 of the last 3 weeks. And hope for the best, but it's just a tough deal for the guys for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, it just is. We were bamboozled. I don't know. Like we were wrong. I don't know. Like I don't know what more to say about it, and I would like to think that it's the officials, after West Virginia, we came on here, we talked about the officials, all that kind of stuff. Like
that for good
we
reason,
were wrong. At the end of the day, we were just wrong, man. Like, I think that's what it was. We were just wrong. This team isn't as tough as I thought that they were, I hate to say that. I hate to say that because I do love these guys, and I think there's a lot of great kids on this team, and every single one of them is a winner. And Matt Campbell this program has proven that, over years. But man, this team is not as tough as I thought that they were, and I think we found that out today. The fact that they couldn't run the ball on that team, come on, man. Like, and then to have Matt Campbell come in, every day that he came in and talked to the media in fall camp and talked to us about the offensive line, man, you want to talk about someone pissing on your head and telling you it's raining. The fact that we bought that, what were we doing?
They were pretty good. I mean, they were pretty good last year, and it's just weird to watch them from week to week look like they can dominate somebody's defensive front and then get dominated by another defensive front. It almost feels, I don't know what it is, but obviously Iowa State was banged up today. Will McDonald didn't play the bulk of the game. He came back in late. They said it was an abdominal thing, I think, and he went out at one point. Jake Hummel got banged up, all that stuff. But none of that explains how they got beat early and late on intermediate and deep passes again and again and again and again. It's just a tough deal. And we're not doing it to criticize anybody. We're doing it to say, again, this was supposed to be the year. Last year was incredible. It's going to be even better. And now it's clearly not going to be even better. But probably, despite all our lamentations today, a good time to sit back and still appreciate where Iowa State's at, too, where they play a really poor football game and they barely lose on a kind of miracle field goal. So, I mean, just as a little bit of reality, it wasn't too many years ago, 5-6 years ago, where they would have lost this game by 40 points and would have had no chance to get back into it. There's still a lot of mental toughness on this team. There's still a lot of grit, and we'll see how it plays out over the last 2 games of the regular season.
All right. Well, if you want to sit and talk about how it could be worse, let me double check this again. The Kansas Jayhawks are up 14-7 right now on Texas.
Nice.
So at least we're not Texas.
Yeah.
Could be worse.
Yeah, but we're not lucky enough to be heading to the SEC in the not too foreseeable future. So
yeah, the elite SEC, where they play elite defense against teams as difficult as Vanderbilt,
New Mexico
Kentucky,
State,
Samford, who scored 50 points today against Florida.
Yep.
Elite defense, man. I don't know what to tell you. But all right, Rob Gray, appreciate you coming on. We'll talk to you guys again on Monday. Lolo is literally growling at me right now, wanting to go outside.
That's life, buddy.
Yeah, that's no kidding. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks to Centurion, Stone, Whiskey River, and Fareway. I'll talk to you guys on Football and Random Things on Monday. Peace.